Evolving Skies, we know, is the best set in the Sword and Shield era. We know how expensive the Umbreon is. We know booster boxes are so expensive that it is debatable whether or not we pick them up at all anymore and look elsewhere to pick stuff up. So what has been going on with Evolving Skies as we get closer to Scarlet and Violet? Alright, Evolving Skies time. This is going to be an interesting one. We know it's amazing. We know this set's incredible. We know it's expensive, and you know, looking back at all the other sets in the Sword and Shield era. So let's take a look at TCG Player, what has been going on recently with Evolving Skies. Okay, booster boxes. Let's take a look at this. $365 for a standard print run booster box. It is absolutely crazy. Now, with this price, you would expect we could be talking about Sun and Moon era booster boxes, but we're not. We're talking about Sword and Shield. It is absolutely crazy. Personally, I do feel like now you just don't buy Evolving Skies. I would look at other set that has real good potential to grow and it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. If you have some Evolving Skies, just keep it, don't open it, and don't get any more. I would look at other booster boxes and other sets to spend my money on. You know, the price is $365. It is just crazy. I mean, I already have some for myself. I'm not buying any more. I haven't bought any more for a very long time. I think since it broke $200, I haven't bought any since, and that's it really. So it is a good set. You know, I'm not going to deny that. I do think personally you might just be better off buying the individual cards than trying to crack packs of Evolving Skies, because the pull rates are terrible. For a set that's worth this much and has such expensive cards, one of the reasons why they are so expensive, because the pull rates aren't good. You know, we don't have a subset or training gallery or anything like that. Very, very tough. If you do get an alt art in your booster box, then you're doing okay, but you will not get your money back unless you hit one card, and that is the alt art Umbreon. As we well know, is, you know, going for incredible amounts of money. We'll be taking a look at what's been going on in this video, but even if you pull the Rayquaza, you still do not get value of what you've paid for this booster box. That is absolutely crazy. So let's take a look at what has been going on in the past 6 months. So this booster box has just been climbing. You know, it has been climbing ever since, you know, 6 months ago. $202 $365. I mean, you're looking at more than 50%. Was that like 75% increase for a booster box? That's just crazy. I mean, it's mind-blowing. It really is mind-blowing. We go back a year. If you picked up booster boxes for, I mean, what's that? 140, which is retail, which we look at all the other sets in the Sword and Shield era, which are sitting around that 130, 140 mark. I mean, you're laughing. You're absolutely laughing. I mean, over here in the UK, these have been selling, I've seen them maybe about 280 for a booster box, some 300, so, you know, on eBay. So they have been selling for less than 365 on TCG Player. But yeah, I would say on average here in the UK, under 300 for a booster box. I'll probably say about 280 is probably the average price, which is still really, really expensive. So what's been going on with the single cards? First one we got is the Umbreon VOR, just the V. It has broke $100. It has been sitting around $100 for a while, and I always say sets that have a lot of cards that are over $30 are very good. This has quite a lot of cards over $30. In fact, this set has quite a lot of cards over $100. Yeah, this is a real deal. So this isn't even the VMAXs. This is just the normal regular art. $100. We go back 6 months, and this card has climbed from 80 to 100. So yeah, it was kind of around about 20%. We go back a year. It did drop to as low as 77, but it's been around 80 to 90 for the longest time. And you know, it did reach a high of 107, but it's sitting around 98 to 102 right now. So yeah, really fantastic card. Unlike a lot of the other sets where alt arts are dropping, Evolving Skies, they're on the uptick. You know, they are really, really on the uptick. So it's really interesting to see how well Evolving Skies is doing along with all of these alt arts. Next we have my favorite card in the set, the Sylveon alt art VMAX. I finally have one. I will get it graded. And yeah, let's take a look at this. 142. So this card has been going up and down quite a bit, in all honesty. So we're looking at, you know, 135. I mean, okay, it's gone up a few dollars, not a huge amount. 6 months. It had a massive jump, huge jump from 120. It did actually reach 150, 154, and now it's 142. So, you know, in the last 6 months, it's probably gone up around about 20 or 15, 20%. In the past year, it was around 108. It actually reached high as 160, so it's kind of dropped a little bit, but overall, it's pretty level. And it's been around this 140 for a decent amount of time. Incredible cards. And yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying. Why would you buy a booster box, try and crack this, when you could buy one of these and still have probably over $200 left over? Pretty insane, right? So that's one thing to take into consideration when trying to buy booster boxes. Just don't open it. Glaceon now. Let's take a look at this one. So we got 146. This actually has dropped. This one actually has dropped a fair amount compared to some of the others. This was dropped maybe, maybe again 10, 15%. We go back 6 months. It did actually jump. So it went from 130 to as high as 180, pretty mad. And now it's back down to 140. We go back a year, it's always been around $100, you know, between 100 to 140. And then it had that massive spike and now it's back down to kind of where it was. So again, similar to the Sylveon, this is holding good value. Has dropped, did have a spike. Again, you could pick this up and Sylveon and still have money left over. Then we have the Leafeon. So the Leafeon is 159, so it is more expensive than the other two. Has dropped only by a little bit, not a huge amount, maybe like $10 or so over the past 3 months. We go back 6 months. Overall, it has climbed, you know, from 140 to sitting at 158. It did reach a high of 170, so not quite as high as the Glaceon did, but still doing pretty well, you know, doing pretty well across the board here. Could I see, you know, this car going up even more? Yeah, of course, you know. Was 116 here, you know, 155, did drop all the way back down to 112, 111 even, and then back up. So you picked up 111, you've been doing pretty well. This is what I'm saying, you could near enough pick up all 3 alt arts for nearly the price of a booster box. Really good going. So it's interesting that, you know, these are the top end cards, and even if you pull them, which is really difficult, you are nowhere near even probably getting half of what you paid for a box. All right, now we get into the Rayquaza. Now what's interesting is, as we saw in Lost Origin, Giratina has overtaken the Rayquaza in value. I know. So the Giratina is now the second most expensive card in the Sword and Shield era. This is on 283, so it was 300, and then it went to 260, so it did drop a bit. It's bounced back up by around $20 or so. We go back 6 months. This card overall has been gone up, right? So it was, you know, around 245, ending at 280, but it did reach a high of 310, 311. So has gone up really high. Now it's kind of leveling out, but overall it's still up in the past 6 months. We go back a year, this card's climbed a lot. Okay, you know, going from just over 200, ending at, you know, 283. Again, that is really, really good going. We're looking at about what, a 40% increase for that. Really good, really, really good. Second most expensive card in the set, third now in the Sword and Shield era. And then we have the Moonbryon. And what has been going on with this card? So $550 for this incredible bad boy has been going up, which is just crazy. So it was 510, it dropped to 470, and it's gone back up. So it's gone up by about $70 in the past 3 months, which is very, very good. I did bounce back very strong, which is quite interesting. And, you know, 6 months, you know, from 430 to 550, even though I did reach as high as 580, it'll get back up there very strong. We go back a year ago, even thinking this card was $300, so Giratina has just broke 300, and that's really impressive. This card a year ago was 300, and now we're looking at 550. You know, that is 50%, or more than 50% actually, over the past year for a card that's already was $300. That's just incredible. Now, will it reach 600? Yes, it's on track. It will. It's only a matter of time. This is the card to pull. And I know that your chase is real and you want to crack packs to try and pull this. You might be better off just buying one. Over here in the UK, this does sell, I've seen a variety, depending on condition, but as a rule, this tends to sell for around about 400 to 450. So you want to keep an eye out. Depending on condition, some might be a little bit more. Keep an eye out for this card. There you have it, guys. Evolving Skies, you know, it's been going up across the board. A couple of the alt arts have been dropping, some of the big ones like Glaceon, but apart from that, not a huge difference. Even Rayquaza's bounced back. Even Umbreon's bounced back. Booster boxes are approaching $400 a box in a standard era. We always talk about, is there going to be a reprint? I would find it incredibly hard to believe that they're going to reprint booster boxes. They might as well just keep putting Evolving Skies packs in other products, just so then you can get Evolving Skies packs at retail, but not necessarily just going out and buy an entire booster box or an ETB. If you do want to get some Evolving Skies packs, let's look elsewhere at other products that do contain them. One thing I will suggest, if you do want to get some Evolving Skies packs and a product that is good value, is the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection Box. There are a ton of them around. They're less than MSRP, and on top of that, they contain 3 Evolving Skies packs, which is really, really cool. And it contains obviously the awesome promos and everything else you get in that product. But they tend to release tins and that do have Evolving Skies packs if you want to get, you know, on the hunt for it. Personally, I don't feel like picking up any more Evolving Skies booster boxes. I like to look elsewhere. Look at Chin and Rain, look at Fusion Strike. I would even look at Battle Styles just because of how cheap it is. So there is room for those to grow and, you know, to get a decent return, good percentage return over the next, you know, 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years. So that's one thing to look at. You know, a lot of people have been asking me, do I think Evolving Skies will become $1,000 a booster box? I mean, it will eventually. You know, time frame, who knows? But I do feel like it'll be on, you know, on the same level as like an XY Evolutions or a team up, where people really do appreciate it and they do feel like they want to hunt for that, you know, the Moonbreon. If you made this far in the video, guys, and you've enjoyed it, make sure you smash that like button, make sure you subscribe for more Pokemon content. Let me know in the comments, what is your thoughts on Evolving Skies? Do you think it's even worth it now? Are you looking elsewhere for other stuff? Let me know. I want to hear your thoughts on what's been going on with Evolving Skies. And if you want to know what's been going on with Lost Origin, then make sure to click on this video right here. And if you want more Pokemon content, of course, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Alright guys, that's it from me in this video. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys are legends, and I'll see you all in the next one.